Nkunku is back. Ah, that's some news there. Christopher Nkunku is back for Chelsea Football Club. Romeo Lavia back for Chelsea Football Club. If you go to the Chelsea website, Chelsea FC website, there's an update on injuries. Armando Broja is out of that list as it stands now. Malo Gusto is in the list. What does it mean for possible Chelsea analysis in the game against Brighton on Sunday? Again, there is my man Armando Broja that's out of it. Malo Gusto is in there. Christopher Nkunku, Romeo Lavia. These people all still have some parts to play. Wesley Fofana has upped his rehabilitation process. What's it with Benjamin Chilwell? But really, Nkunku is back. He was spotted in team training with the boys today and yesterday. Mauricio Pochettino has also spoken to the media, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack. The players, Pochettino, his feelings, his emotions, and then how Chelsea are really going to play against a team like Brighton and Hove Albion. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Like I consistently do, I'm grateful to have you here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube for your support consistently. I want to say a big thank you to you. But let's get straight into it. If you're not subscribed, guys, make sure you pause here and subscribe to the channel, and do turn on your notifications. My name still remains Fiifi-Manfred. So after that disappointing game against Newcastle United, every Chelsea fan has been a little bit worried. I mean, if you go and you look at the number of videos I've done since that game against Newcastle United, you can compare it to the videos that I've done before, and you clearly will be able to tell that the numbers have reduced drastically. So I can understand. I've gotten comments from people all across the world when they say, Fifi, we don't even want to watch football. We don't want to hear anything about Chelsea when they lose. But yeah, that's fine. But as a football fan, you need to really have still stick with your team even when they lose. And that's the reason why today we're going to preview the game against Brighton. We are really going to look into it tactically. We'll look at it, how Chelsea possibly are going to line up with my man Malo Gusto out, with James with a red card, Marco Correa also suspended, and then Levi Cole possibly going to go back there. What are going to be the dynamics? You think Moise Caicedo has to play at the right back against Brighton and Hove Albion? What's the tactical analysis that you would want to see here? That's the reason why we are here. So yeah, let's get straight into all the analysis here. So Nkunku was actually spotted back in training with the boys yesterday, today. Romeo Lavia, according to Sky, wasn't seen with the boys. But last week, you remember before the game against Newcastle, Moise Pochettino had opined that Lavia is just slightly behind Nkunku in terms of recovery. So Nkunku is ahead of him. And that's the reason why Nkunku is already on the grass. I mean, doing full team training with the boys, and then Lavia isn't in there. But essentially, Lavia is just a week or two away from him. And immediately Nkunku is able to play football, we are hoping to see Lavia on the grass training fully with the boys, and then later on going to get a job done. So let's break down everything that Mauricio Pochettino said in his pre-match press conference. I think that first of all, he was asked about Reece James, and if he was let down by Reece James taking of a red card in the game against Newcastle. And I think he was very honest. He mentioned the fact that Reece isn't up to speed. He's not fully fit, and the fact that he has been in and out in terms of injuries and he's not really much sharp. He felt, I mean, let down by his body and went into that. I slightly disagree with Mauricio Pochettino. I just think Reece lost his head in that game against Newcastle. It's as simple as that. He lost his head in that game against Newcastle, and then you would expect that he does better in the next game when he gets the chance to play in there. Now, apart from that, it was asked about Nkunku and then Romeo Lavia. He mentioned that it's a process. He didn't really rule them in or out of the season, out of the game against Brighton. So I won't be surprised if tomorrow there's a last-minute turn of event on Sunday and you see Romeo Lavia in the list of players or that are traveling to Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm not going to be surprised. It may be Mauricio Pochettino just keeping his cards closely on his chest and then waiting for a very good opportunity for him to now come out and say, okay, yeah, spring it on teams and not necessarily just let people know how he's going to play his game against Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, so quite apart from that, he spoke about Moise Caicedo and if there has been pressure on him on his return to Brighton and Hove Albion. Again, he deflated the pressure. He took it off Caicedo. He did mention that it's a process, and then you don't have to rush them. Of course, he did accept that Caicedo has been good enough. Saying for Robert Sanchez, and then they're going to Brighton won't be too much of a big deal. He also did mention that he knows Roberto De Zerbi so well as a manager, and then he understands how he plays his game. He's doing a very good job, the coaching staff and what have you. And I think that is very, very true. I mean, if you look at the job Roberto De Zerbi is doing at Brighton and Hove Albion, if you look at how good his teams are playing. When we play them in the Carabao Cup, when we played them in the Carabao Cup, it was a little bit not lackluster. I mean, the general performance was a little bit not really up to speed. Like, both teams were struggling to find their feet in the early openings of the game. Chelsea managed to get a hold of the game very well, and then they ended up getting the goals. And I'll talk you through tactically how well Chelsea played in that game against Brighton and Hove Albion on the tactical board very soon. But yes, this is by way of contest, and Chelsea needs to win. So Nkunku is back. There's a possibility that Moise Caicedo plays at right back. Is that going to see the light of day? How is it going to pan out if he plays at right back? What is the analysis they're going to see? Stick and stay in a minute. Against tactical board. So, like I was saying earlier, in the game we played against Brighton and Hove Albion in the Carabao Cup, it was a little bit more lackluster, right? It was a slim win for Chelsea, just a goal to 0. But really, you could tell that Chelsea deserved the win. And there are some similarities from that game that you can see in this game as well. The fact that Chelsea doesn't have a right back now, they didn't have a right back then. At the time, Malo Gusto had gotten his matching orders in the game against Aston Villa Pearl, while Chelsea had lost, and then Reece was injured. This time, Malo is injured. The rules have been reversed. Reece has a red card. On the left-hand side, Mark Benchor got injured in that game. He's not going to play in this game. He's still going on with his rehabilitation work. But the bigger question in this game is, so who do you play at right back, right? Immediately, you ask yourself this. You want to find a possible solution. Because Chelsea doesn't have a recognizable senior right back player in the team as it stands now. And we are going to talk about it. We are going to talk about Chelsea's press. We are going to talk about the 4-4-2 press, the box midfield from Chelsea. We are going to talk about the attacking third, and then how Chelsea consistently forced Brighton wide. So stick and stay. If you're not subscribed, make sure you pause the video, go back, and then do subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot more to go on for you here. So yeah, at the right back, immediately there is no Malagos, there is no Moise James. Now you are thinking of an inverted right back in this situation. Now, who are you going to invert into midfield if you are starting with a right back like that in here? Now, if you are watching me from this side, right back is essentially on this side. If you want to use it that way, that's fine. So if you start Moise Caicedo in here, now you're going to have your on the ball shape of 3 at the back, and mind you, Chelsea's final ball shape is supposed to be 3-2-5 when they're attacking. Now, if you invert Moise Caicedo in here, he's not going to come from right back, invert into the middle of the pack, like what Alexander Zinchenko does for us now. Very important. But the time for inversion is important. These nitty-gritties are very important. If the team have been trained around this for a while, you don't expect Mauricio Pochettino to do it. Especially when Moise is going away to Brighton and Hove Albion, and then he's going to face his former team. The fans are probably going to be hostile against him. Same for Robert Sanchez. How are Chelsea going to play out from the back? It's going to be very, very important. Brighton also in that game started in a 4-2-3-1. They had Dawood and Baleba in the middle of the pack. They had João Pedro up top in here. Kyril Mitoma was in there with them. So at some point, Simon Edingra did come on to influence the play. And Soumani Fati, who seemed to have found a new home at Brighton, also had some time to play in the game. So it's important that you ask yourself, who plays at Chelsea's right back going to a game like this? I think that off the top of my head, people will say Axel Disasi can go and play at right back. I'm not comfortable with Axel Disasi at right back. I'd rather Moise Caicedo start from right back, comes inverted in here, and Chelsea plays the flat 3 like that of Axel Disasi on the right hand side, Thiago Silva, and then you have my man Benoit Bellachile here. Then you have at fullback, you can have my man Levi Cole. It's very, very important. How the dimensions do play in this game is going to be very, very important in a game like this. Now, one of the reasons why I think Moise Caicedo should be in there is that you want to form a box midfield against Brighton. One of the ways Brighton plays that they use their CM. So Chelsea essentially are going to press in a 4-4-2, like that, and making sure that he deal with Brighton in central areas, and then in the rest defense, it becomes a 2v3 for Chelsea in that area. Now, if you want a 4-4-2 in the final third, where Chelsea initially will push up like that when they are pressing, mind you, this is just the press shape for Chelsea Football Club, not necessarily the shape when they're on the ball or something. It's the press shape. Now, if you have it like this, you want your two attackers this time, your number 10, and then your center forward Jackson, sometimes Conor Gallagher, sometimes Cole Palmer, to prevent ball progression from the center backs. They will press them. Now, when you press them, you want to use your extra two midfielders in here. So this should have been Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, to block passing lanes into the two midfielders of Baleba and then Dawood. That will essentially force Brighton to go outward. When Brighton goes outward into these zones, now you'd want to use any of your rest centre backs. So if it's on the left-hand side, like go up and Abelashile, should be quick to close them down, should be aggressive, should not force them so that they don't turn behind to face the Chelsea goals. So on this side as well, you want Axel Disasi to be that aggressive, to step out and break the chain at the back, step out into the wide area, defend wide areas very well. That's why Chelsea should go into the 4-4-2. Now again, the importance of Moise Caicedo if he comes inverted from a right back is that Chelsea will easily form the box midfield. Now, if you have a 3-2-5 shape over here when you're progressing without the ball, if Chelsea are sitting in the mid block, they can form the box midfield, which then becomes a 3-box-3. And these are things that happened in the game against Brighton and Hove Albion in the first one. So it's important, if you want to force them out, then you want to have central congestion, you want to win numerical superiority in central areas, then force Brighton to play out, force them to play here. When they come here, you close them down with your aggression, with your centre backs that are very good in defending wide areas. It's an important way of playing against teams that play very comfortable on the ball. That waits and baits you to make the first move or the press, and then you go in. So the timing of Moise, if he plays a right back coming in here, is going to be very important. The timing of Jackson and then Palmer pressing the ball is going to be very important, because immediately they move in, then the centre forward, the centre backs are going to play the ball infield to Baleba, Dawood, whoever, Kiro Mitoma when it comes to inverted. It's a part of Brighton's play that was very important. If you go back and you watch the game that they played against Manchester United, that's exactly how they went about it, where they use central areas to beat Manchester United. They acted as if they wanted to come centrally. United will focus on defending centrally. Then they bring the ball out wide. At the time, it was Sharik Lamptey from wide areas who will move up here very high and wide, so that Kiro Mitoma will be in this zone on the half space. It's going to be more like a 2v1, especially when in that game Rashford wasn't very disciplined in terms of the off-the-ball job that he had to do for the team, and it affected Manchester United a lot. So these are the nitty-gritties. Chelsea press 4-4-2, the 3-box-3 midfield. That's going to be very important on the ball. Essentially, we said it consistently, and it's going to be the same in teams like this that play with a lot of space and behind, a lot of space in between the lines, and don't really sit compact. Chelsea are going to go 3-2-5, and the fact is Chelsea want to stretch the field of play. Now, again, whoever becomes right back is going to be very important. Or apart from that, if you're not using the right back, whoever the winger is, it means that if Chelsea are going to go inverted in a game like this, then they cannot play Conor Gallagher and Cole Palmer together, because you need somebody to hold the weight. Axel Disasi cannot hold the weight. If Moise Caicedo comes inverted, he can't come and hold the weight. So who holds the weight for Chelsea? You want a natural winger in here to hold the weight for Chelsea, so that Sterling can also hold the weight in there. Then you have Cole Palmer inside here. Then you have Enzo Fernandez here as a number 10. Enzo doesn't really thrive in natural, but Nicholas Jackson, you may have a Cole Palmer in there as well. So you may have essentially someone to hold the weight. Noni Madueke, Mihailo Mudryk, whoever will come on. Then Cole Palmer comes inside. Then you can have your man Nicholas Jackson in here. Then you have an extra man, Conor Gallagher, Enzo Fernandez in here. Then of course you are going to have Raheem Sterling in there. So it's very important. It's the kind of tactics that can alter the whole way Chelsea will play in this game against Brighton and Hove Albion. And it is going to be very, very important. But I think that the best option for Chelsea is to have Moise Caicedo as right back against Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, this is my preview: Chelsea versus Brighton on Sunday. Thank you. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. Thank you very much.